Wade Devers coming at you. Okay. I think it was 2009, the fall of 2009. Will Burns and I were working together at Arnold in Boston, an ad agency. And Will came to me one day and he said, "Hey, Wade, I have this idea for a business. I really want to get your take on it and I want to see what you think. And I'd love to buy you lunch and talk to you about it." And I said, "You can absolutely buy me lunch. Let's do this." So anyway, he bought me a burger down at this place on Huntington Avenue in the ground floor of Arnold, and he pitched me this idea for something at the time that he was calling napkin backs. Like you write your ideas on a napkin, that kind of thing. And he said that he had this theory that if you separate creative ideation from creative production, do you get better ideas? Do you get bigger, more imaginative, more awesome ideas? Which I thought was kind of an interesting premise. He said what he wanted to do is create a virtual collaborative of people that could work together to think about briefs just to give ideas to clients, right? So clients that were in a pinch or they really just couldn't figure out a creative solution to a problem, whether they were advertising problems or not. Could we get this group of virtual sort of creative experts together to crack these briefs? And he said the kinds of people we were thinking about were me, and then he asked me if I wanted to be one of them, and he mentioned, I believe he mentioned David Baldwin at the time, who I was a big fan of. I'd known David. He's an amazing creative, wonderful writer, great guy. So I think that I was either number one or David was number one, but for the sake of argument, let's just say that I was probably number one. I mean, it's more likely, you know. Anyway, I thought the whole thing sounded really cool, and I thought it sounded like a different way to work, and I thought the theory was kind of interesting. And about 6 months later, we kind of worked on a brand identity together, and he launched Ideasicle, and the first briefs came, and I found myself, working on this, working on Basecamp or whatever we were using at the time, collaborating with people like David Baldwin and Monica Taylor and Harry Cochillo, like people that I'd actually known. I'd kind of known who they were, but I'd never met, but amazing creatives. And then other people that he sort of had brought in that he'd worked with before that were from different business backgrounds and from different parts of the ad industry and the non-ad industry people. And right away, I think it was just a really liberating thing to be able to think separate from production, separate from selling ideas through organizations, creating decks and rationalizing everything that you did, just to focus purely on the ideas and coming up with as many awesome brief cracking ideas that you could, working with these other people was just, if nothing else, it was a lot of fun. But it was super liberating and a great way to sort of think about something completely different all of the time. Like every brief is different, every challenge is different. Sometimes you're like, I don't know how the hell I'm gonna think about this. But at the end of the day, it always comes together, and we've always got a great batch of work to show for our efforts and the collaboration. And I think clients have gotten a lot out of it. And I don't think I know of any other platform that exists that's like this. Like, crowdsourcing was kind of a thing way back then. I think it's still around. I'm not really sure, but it has a lot of downside, which is, you get a lot of ideas, but you also get a lot of garbage. And more ideas is not always better. What you're looking for is good ideas. So this idea of sourcing ideas from experts who are good at this, who knew how to work together, who knew how to generate high level concepts and knew how to crack briefs, was kind of a new thing, and I still think there's nothing like it. I don't know of a resource that a client can take advantage of for a very reasonable budget on a very limited time frame, get access to the kinds of thinkers that are on this platform, generating ideas and collaborating together. I don't know that exists anywhere. except in an agency where you're sort of on the hook for, you know, maybe a lot more money and maybe longer time frames. I don't really know, but anyway, still it's a great platform. And if you have a business idea or a business problem that you need creativity to sort of break open, whether it's an advertising idea or not, Ideasicle is a really great resource, and I'd recommend it to anybody. So here we are, what, 10 years later? Nice going, Wilbur. Thanks for that burger.